Ionia.
Hello and welcome to Ionia Gaming. I am Carcat and today I will be going over the game called League of Legends. This video is intended to help people who are brand new to the game and will only be covering the general controls and concepts, but I'll be going over other information in videos soon to come. So first of all, what is League of Legends? League of Legends is a massive PvP online game where players can battle it out as teams on different maps and game modes with a large selection of different champions, items, and team composition. This game requires lots of vigilance, patience, and teamwork, but you should have all that covered once you're done watching this tutorial. So after logging in, there are a few things you should go over before thinking about starting a game. Go into your profile and look over the Champions tab. In this tab, you can find what champions are free to play just for this week. These champions will be colored in and have a small exclamation point in the corner. Champions are free to play, rotate each week, and give you the ability to try some champions out without having to purchase them first. You'll be able to buy more champions by earning influence points, which are earned from playing games. Feel free to look these champions over and find which one you think you'd like to try out. Once that's done, take a look at the runes and mastery pages. As a beginning player, you won't have to worry about getting runes until level 30, for they are weak and a waste of IP until that point. The mastery page is a page where you can make up to 20 different pages, which can also be labeled, and are designed to give specific champions different benefits in the game. We'll be going over more about these later. So now that we have that covered, let's look over maps. There are several different maps and game modes in League of Legends, but the two you should be concerned about as a beginning player are Co-op vs AI and Normal Blind Pick. Co-op vs AI is a map that places you with a group of players who then pit against another group of in-game bots. These bots are designed to give you a feel for the game and also allow you to try out different champions without fear of a loss weighing down your personal profile. Normal Blind Pick is similar to bot games, except you are actually going against other players, where losing actually appears on your personal score. Because of this, it is suggested that you try a few bot games before actually going against players who know what they're doing. So before we get into a game, let's go over the basic concept of this map. The game goes like this. There are 3 lanes which the team divides 5 different roles of champions into. A top champion, who deals decent damage while still mitigating incoming damage to themselves. A middle champion, who generally specializes in AP and can survive by themselves for the start of the game. A jungler, who gains experience from killing camps of creeps in the forest, and who can aid team members by assassinating enemies in lane. And lastly, the bot team. This team is comprised of 2 players, the support and the AD carry. The support, as the name suggests, supports their AD carry by giving them minion kills, giving them beneficial buffs, crowd controlling enemies, and much, much more. The AD carry is a glass cannon champion who attacks from afar with AD based attacks, and becomes the main source of damage for their team in most scenarios. Although this setup isn't necessary, you will find out that this combination of champions will win you the most games. The only exception, though, is bot games, where players are picking champions over roles, which is accepted since losing doesn't affect you. Once roles and lanes have been chosen, there will be minions that spawn after 30 seconds. The first phase of the game will be champions getting as much minion kills as they can to level up, and to gain gold. During this time, champions may battle as well, but at their own risk. Later, the team must attempt to cut down enemy towers to advance through the lanes. Eventually, the first team to fight past all towers and destroy the nexus or the enemy base wins. Now that you have the basic idea of how the game is played out, we'll be going over controls. In this game, there are many different key bindings you can change or keep the same. We'll just be going over the basics here, but if you'd like to know more special controls, feel free to ask in the comment section below. So first of all, let's take a look at movement. Movement is controlled by your mouse, where right-clicking on your screen commands your champion to that specific location. Right-clicking enemies will also make you auto-attack them, so be careful when using this control. Left-clicking allows you to select units without attacking them, which can be handy when inspecting them, or to ready an ability that needs a target selected. Now on to your abilities. Your abilities are controlled with hotkeys, which become your bread and butter in the game. I highly suggest you use these keys instead of clicking them, for this will remove the mobility you need from the mouse to dodge enemy attacks and keep you on your toes. Going from left to right, your abilities are controlled with the Q, W, E, and R keys. The 2 summoner abilities you select at the start of the game are controlled with D and F. These abilities will vary depending on which champion you picked, so be sure to go over them before activating these keys at the start of a game. Alright, now that we have those basic controls covered, let's take a look at the basic interface. Starting from the bottom left, you will notice a portrait of your champion, various slots, stats, gold, and a loot icon. The slots are where 6 items can be stored throughout the game and can quickly be activated by clicking the number key associated with that slot. The rest of this area will be gone over later. The bottom center of your screen is your abilities. These should only be used as a reference to see what abilities are on cooldown and should never actually be clicked. Moving on to the right is the minimap. This is one of the most helpful tools in the game and will be used to view where visible champions are, where your allies are, minion waves, creep camps, and even visible ultimates performed by your allies. On the left side of your screen is your ally portraits. These will show your allies' health and mana status, and will also indicate whose ultimate, or R, is up by the green circle being lit up. In the top left corner, you will notice that whenever you select a target, you can view their stats. And lastly, the top right. This is an indicator of how many kills, deaths, assists, and minion kills you have. It also shows your team and the enemy team kills, along with the game runtime. Alright, now that we have all the basics of the game covered, let's go over some quick hints you should know throughout the game. Once you get into the game, the first thing to do is to select your first abilities and buy your items. To access the shop, merely right-click on the shopkeeper, click the loot bag in the bottom left-hand corner I mentioned earlier, or you can press the P key. Remember, you can only buy once you're near the shop, but you can always open the shop to see what you can afford during the game. Once that's covered, move to your beginning position in your corresponding lane. You should always wait by your tower until minions spawn at 30 seconds, or if your ally is there with you. Enemies can be hiding in the grass, which removes them from sight and can easily give them a first blood, which gives them more gold than a regular kill. Because of this, you should only enter grass if you have vision inside of it from a ward or an ally, or if you use a skill shot ability to shoot inside the area to reveal them. Once minions have reached each lane, this then becomes the beginning phase of the match. During this phase, you should only be concentrating on getting minion kills unless you're a support. The reason for this is that you want to gain as much gold and XP as possible. Be sure to dodge enemy attacks by staying behind minions and keeping constant movement. You should also only hit minions when they're low, for auto-attacking minions risks losing gold and pushing your lane out. Pushing your lane out puts you at the mercy of your enemies, for it allows you to be ganked easier since you're further from your tower. It also makes it difficult for your ally jungler to jump on enemies in your lane, so be sure not to kill enemy minions too quickly. If you ever get low on health, mana, or get a large sum of gold during this phase, be sure to click the B key to teleport back to base. Remember though to always base in a safe location, otherwise enemies can quickly pick you off. Once back at your base, restore your health and mana and purchase your next set of items. Once again, you can find out what to buy from guides online such as Mobifier, or you can use the suggested list in the shop. After that, just return to lane and rinse and repeat. The mid phase begins generally around 6, when towers are destroyed and enemies along with allies venture to other lanes to aid their allies in pushing out their lanes. During this phase is when your teamwork really shines. If you don't stick together as teams and initiate teamfights correctly, the enemy team can quickly gain an advantage and start racking up kills, gold, and towers. So in other words, be sure to be very aware during this phase and try to help out your team in any way you can. If the game continues to progress past this point, you enter the late game phase. During this phase, anything can happen. Teams usually attempt to kill the Baron creep, who gives a decent amount of gold, along with a power-up buff for the team that killed him. Teams will also be attempting to win team fights, for people stay dead longer this late in the game, allowing for teams to rush the base, kill inhibitors for stronger minions, and allowing them to possibly kill the Nexus towers to win the game. So in short, stick together as a team, choose fights wisely, stay vigilant, and keep a positive attitude. This pretty much covers the basics of this game. As stated before, I'll be making videos in the near future covering more hints and tricks, along with specific content covering the different roles on a team. Once again, this is Carcat, and I wish you the best of luck in the league.